Yeah, I'm going to just turn down Sam just a little bit.
Some chick. I should have done the warm up.
You shouldn't have done the vocal warm up. That's the issue. Well, I did a run today, so I'm like.
You're always.
I'm permanently warmed up.
That's my secret, cat.
Where did you go?
I'm always warm.
I'm always warm.
Alright, hello all of the viewers we just lost because the stream went wrong. Sorry, we were down a camera, but now we're up and we get to see a nice new background.
Look how beautiful it is.
Hello.
Which Liam painted himself.
Anyway, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. First of all, if anyone is watching, hello, welcome to Eaters of the Earth. Bless you, Shannon. This is episode 9. Hopefully it's come up as such. We've had some problems with the stream description. We've come up as episode 7 for the past 3 streams. That has been
a very long
rectified,
episode,
I believe.
I got ill, got better. Harry got ill.
Yeah. We are playing a game of Dungeons & Dragons set within the world of Caves of Cud. It's a video game. It's made by Freehold Games. Thanks as always to them for giving us permission to play in their lovely post-apocalyptic science fantasy setting. Shall we go around and introduce ourselves? I think also just a little bit about your character, what they look like, what they do. Right. Seb, do you want to go first?
I will. I am playing Tumblehart Baraka III, who is a pretentious, pompous, planty person. Added one more in to try and get that inspiration back.
That was good. That was good inspiration, actually.
Thank you.
Do another combo, and I might give you inspiration for that.
Okay, but I'll seed it in.
How he dangle the carrot.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was
soon I shall bringeth the stick.
Tumblehart is also a knight historian, and just had their third eye blinded.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. Who are you? Who is the player?
Oh,
the man behind the character.
Well, who is Seb?
Okay, that's
it's
enough.
A question I'm not I'm also for today. Hello, I'm Harry, and I burn Persian rugs on a bonfire, and don't know who Stretch Armstrong is.
There's all deep lore re-established about our missing player Harry.
About our missing player Harry, yes. I am going to be playing the. Wow.
Hey, what the fuck?
Sorry, he's going to stop moderating.
No, it's because of the background.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm playing Stev and Dog.
Way more attractive than
Dog. Dog is a dog, but a psychic dog, and Stev
but nobody knows it.
But nobody knows it.
No one's quite realised
except for presumably the dog. And Stev is a Neanderthalic, round-headed, hairy hunter-gatherer.
Just a total babe.
Who is just a general babe, and
not technically canon, but
general babe.
but also just a general babe. And Harry's a general babe too.
Yes.
We're very sorry he's ill, and we wish him.
Yeah. So Harry,
speedy
unfortunately,
recovery.
one of our number has been stricken with a pox. Assumingly we all wish him well. I do.
I do as well.
I don't care for him.
No. I think now is actually when we stick the knives in, really, while he's not here.
No, he's not.
Anyway, Sam, do you want to introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Sam, and I am playing Tetsu Oitap. He is featured below me as the lovely blue boy with the sunburnt orange hair. He's a gangly boy. He's got a magic eye. He's got a magic hand and a head full of dreams. And about me, I'm Sam, an actor and reactor, and I'm going to pass you over to Shannon.
Sorry, are we all good? Seb's monitoring the chat today, are we all good?
Yeah, there was just Harry saying he's here.
Hi, Harry.
Oh, good. Hi, Harry.
So no insulting him. Fuck you. Yeah, carry on.
And Shannon.
I'm Shannon, I'm playing Habavis. She's not the nicest person in the group.
ISIS?
Nicest. Nicest.
ISIS, okay.
It's nice and nice.
Yeah, Shannon is the ISIS member of the group. We wish her well on her crusade in Syria. This will be her last session that she's here with us. We're very sad about it.
I'm gonna go home now.
It's like Hex the Moon Spear, but like...
Anyway, sorry.
Word.
Yeah, so Habavis, as we've now established twice, you've all been witness that she has these strange ice powers that come from this kind of metallic curse upon her hands.
She's pretty creepy.
Sorry?
She's pretty creepy.
Pretty creepy.
Pretty
Yeah,
creepy,
they
yeah.
are.
Anyway, that's
Okay,
introductions. I'm
introduce
Liam,
myself.
I'm the DM.
Okay.
Couple of announcements. One, first is that Harry is ill, tragically, as we said. Other is we're ending at 9 today. It's going to be a short session, just 2 hours. Yeah, Shannon's got an interview. We wish her luck.
Audition.
Yeah, she can finally move on from this. With the YouTube uploading the episodes, we're now on to episode 4. We're trying to speed up getting them up. Yeah, well, we're almost onto the episodes when the sound got better.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
currently it's horribly echoey and tinny, but if you want to see our old stuff, you can go there. Watch the first episode where it looks like I'm in a Taliban kidnapping video.
Wow, first episode in the group.
Yeah, that's how Shannon got the got the taste.
Oh no.
And lastly, we got affiliated. Yay!
Yay!
We're all servants to the machine.
Yeah,
so
it's-
Seth, do you want to just make sure you're in front of the mic?
I'm
Are you
probably
trying to get
between
the two?
two mics. I think this one might be better because
Harry wants you in the chat and he'll speak to me if there's any problems, so you'll find
then I'll be in my Tumbleharty place.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we should give a message about subbing. I'm just saying that maybe someone should say that it is feasibly possible to sub.
That was agonising. I would have rather you just a call to action. Anyway,
We can't win.
I don't know how this machine works. I've put up the badges for subscribers, but they're placeholders for now. I'll try to make better ones soon.
That's so cool.
And we need to work on the emotes and all this other stuff. Can't they just do it for me? Can't I just be an artist?
That's our job.
You're a slave to the machine.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all the announcements we've got. Shall we begin? Unless anyone's got anything else to say.
Just open that strawberry packet right next to the
sold.
mic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's bringing you those lovely Foley sounds of a strawberry package being opened.
Would you like one before we start?
I'll hold on to one. Cheers.
High quality content.
Quality content. Anyway, I assume no one else has got anything to say.
No.
So, shall
Just
we
really
begin?
excited to see where it takes us today.
Also, just if there are any real pedants, I know that you can see the bottom left corner of the painted backdrop is unpainted. I didn't accommodate for the fact that the camera angles. I'll get that done. It's bugging me.
Finally, I'm glad that you brought
bugging
it
me
up,
more than anyone else, to be honest.
Because
but
honestly, I think you've just ruined the whole fucking thing.
The
It would be
composition is
better
ruined.
not to have a backdrop at all.
Okay, cool.
It's beautiful.
Shall we begin?
Yes.
So, last time
Just strawberries.
you had triumphed over these espers that had been pursuing you, guided by this gaze that had been upon Tumblehart. And following messages, just on my phone, following messages within Tetsu's dreams, you'd headed to these ruins northwest of the Cud jungle, seeking knowledge and aid from this machine you'd heard spoke of by a voice that referred to themselves as Angwics. There you found the entrance to these subterranean ruins, and beginning your descent, first you were assailed by some mysterious machine that was soon able to appear and disappear and reappear at will. You found also the bodies of plunderers who had appeared to kill each other, assumably over this odd handle-like device that Tetsu has now been given. Babies, in your career, you've seen things like this before, of people turning on each other in the instance where they find something valuable. Reaching as far as deep as you could go, you found a room that contained this great monolithic box, and extending from which was this series of giant sprues that headed down an assembly line into this dark passage. Tetsu used his magic to bring this machine, this mechanism to life, and as the assembly line began to move, you jumped upon it and headed into the darkness. You narrowly avoided falling at the hands of these sinister mechanisms that sprung from the walls to operate on these sprues. And you then made your way off this assembly line at the opening at the other end, fortunately not getting incinerated. Heading forwards, you found that there had been these holes cut into the great steel doors in your way, seemingly using heat. Stev also found quite old footsteps in the dirt in this place, and they marked a passage that you followed through this complex you emerged into. You then came into this great hall of these luminescent pools with these strange obelisks of black stone and gold engraving inside, and you found they had been appropriated as a gravesite by some forgotten ancient people. At the end of the hall, you found this strange arcane aperture, this portal that led into some otherworldly fractal prison where no matter how far you went, you never really got much further from the door. And therein you entreated with this strange and terrible machine that you had sought for knowledge. Making bizarre and sinister requests, Dog traded her tail for the blinding of Tumblehart's third eye, assumedly removing the kind of psychic overwatch upon you. And Tetsu traded a parallel version of himself for knowledge on this hemispherical device entrusted to him by his teacher Lucky. We ended as you left this machine's cage. The aperture closes behind you and the one in front opens up, and you come back into this kind of ghostly lit hall, these faintly glowing pools and these great glowering busts of ancient gods glaring at you from either side. What are you doing? I'll give you a strawberry.
I think you should have given him your firstborn.
I'm not giving someone I don't know something I don't even have yet.
Sounds like the whole premise of the series The Witcher on Netflix.
Who?
Don't worry about it.
We'll go back and ask what Netflix is.
I want for Netflix. I want $99. Subscription for only $5.99 a month.
I'm exhausted. Is anyone else exhausted? How's the dog? Is the dog?
I seem to remember we rested not that long ago.
So
Dog took a short rest.
Dog has limped out. Blood kind of runs down her back where she tore her own tail off to give to this
good girl.
machine.
She's a good girl.
She's kind of just gone perhaps a few feet
We
off
have,
and
like,
curled up and perhaps is trying to kind of lick the wounds.
We have stopped the bleeding, haven't we? I thought we did last session.
I mean, you tried to patch it up. You haven't done anything proper, rather than just like trying to put pressure on it. But
should we
I just
sort?
in with my vine.
don't think that's quite how sealing a wound works. But
Dr. Tumblehart.
And then cut it off. It's like a sort of replacement tail.
so you're going to tear off your limb to. I would say that
it's adorable.
No, I'm not actually going to do that.
I mean,
But yeah.
Dog seems to.
And after all,
take
she
care of-
sacrificed.
What the hell was that?
It was just a bottle.
What?
Just a bottle.
Okay, sorry. I thought some of the kit had just fallen over.
The street.
Everything dies.
Just a
The
bottle.
backdrop catches fire.
No.
The sound keeps going, but the thing goes dead.
Oh god! Oh
God.
We took a short rest not so long ago, didn't we?
I can't use any magic at the moment because I'm so tired.
Oh right.
I just simply couldn't do any magic at all.
No magic.
I just
too tired.
So to be clear, canonically, it's your lightning cell regains its own power over time, and you need to give it a certain amount of time for it to do that.
I'm just also so tired. But at the same time, should we get out of this place? Or should we follow where?
Well, a part of me thinks that maybe we're safer sleeping here than we would be outside.
But what about that massive thing that made the hole in the wall?
Well, I think it was an individual, and if they're not here currently, they might have gone.
So I will say that those kind of molten cuts that have put these holes into these steel doors, they did follow these footsteps that Steph found in the dirt, so it appears to be some singular individual carved their way through. And you may recall that the arcane gate to the machine you spoke to also had a kind of a line of carbon on it. It appeared they tried the same method and not worked.
It was not warm, was it?
We should have asked.
No, not at all. It was Steph saw these
Just
footsteps
like a
were here
baby.
years ago. If anything, it's just this place has not been disturbed since.
I wonder who it was.
We should have asked.
He just wanted so many things
I
already.
know, wanted so.
Just a fucking demanding AI, really, wasn't
It
it?
was. A what?
Demanding
Arcane
intelligence from another realm.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
Do we want to find out where that where those things that we were building went, or do you think that that's a lost cause?
So I will say you did see a bit of where they headed because the track you were on swerved and you kind of jumped off at that point.
Yeah.
What it headed down was essentially it appears they got flash carbonized essentially. There was kind of these bursts of heat and then turned it black, and then it was coated in this raining kind of liquid metal. So it doesn't look like the most survivable ordeal, although you could certainly try.
No, not following it, just to see where they came out.
Was there another path at one point?
You did come into this great hall from a place that's split into 6 ways, this hexagonal chamber, and it had this, it was kind of one floor of which looking up you could see there were many, and there's a kind of, you are in some subterranean complex that has many passageways going all over the place, like a great spider web. And on the floor you're on, you did see there was this kind of perfect hole, seemingly going through every floor.
We could have a little.
That appears to be part of the actual structure, not carved into it, or not made after the construction of this place. But there is some function to this hole in this place, though you know what. Perhaps ascending and descending levels.
We could have a little shifty around.
Fancy a shifty?
Did you get your question answered?
Got one of them answered.
What was the answer?
Just about what this ontological paperweight is.
As Tetsu says a word that he's never ever actually said before, but you do now understand somehow by this information being beamed directly into your eye and into your brain. You have some understanding of what that means.
Ironically, that is the first time I've said those two words together.
Oh, what Sam has never said ontological before.
It's ontological, exactly. So, it's a little something that I'm still trying to work out in my brain, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I would say having come out of here, you do feel kind of almost the subterranean tectonic plates of your mind slowly shifting, having been disrupted by this information coming into place and coalescing, and you come to understand almost on a kind of muscle memory level how to use this thing.
Excellent.
So you can now use it as you would any other spell.
Great.
Oh wow. No, sorry. Oh wow.
I will say just because because you're still learning how to do a spellcasting character.
Yeah.
So what it's unlocked is a spell you can memorize. So when you take a long rest, it's as if if you were playing a wizard, this would be a new spell in your spellbook.
Okay.
So you can pick that spell out of
Beautiful.
other spells that you memorize.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it.
He was all right, Even though I wanted my firstborn,
to be clear, he pulled
and
this kind of strange ghostly mirror out of it where you saw yourself and then the reflection broke and gained autonomy and then arms grabbed it and tore it away into the darkness. So,
yeah.
Are you not a little fucked up about
I
that?
am a little fucked up about it.
Because I'm a little fucked up about that.
I think we don't know what he was going. I didn't even see it happen.
To you, it was just a flat surface. I mean, you couldn't hear him; he was just silently screaming behind this thing. So,
oh god!
I thought you got off very lightly.
Compared to the dog.
The trauma it induced in me was worse than, say, the trauma that could be induced in a person by watching The Lighthouse, for example.
Is there a lighthouse in this world?
There's not an ocean. So
there's no ocean.
What do you think the Great Salt Desert to the east is? It's salt from the sea.
We just lost every follower we have.
The ocean stands.
We stand.
Yes, there are no oceans so far as you're aware of.
So no lighthouses.
Probably not. Although there might be one of those, didn't someone try to make a kind of lighthouse that was supposed to set ships on fire?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but there's still that also there would be no call for.
That's a good
Sand
point.
ship.
But okay, there are. I mean,
stand.
so there are salt skimmers and other means of traversing the desert that
There's salt
are the
houses.
ships of this world.
It took me way too long. I was like, okay.
I mean, you can. I mean, if you really want, your character could give me a history check to see if they've ever heard of seas. But
Are there salt lamps?
19.
sorry.
19.
19. No,
That's
so far as you're aware, there are no greater bodies of water than lakes.
Wow.
We go
Pretty
to the
small
lake
lakes.
house.
What about the Lake District?
To me, they're not called ocean houses; they're called lighthouses. It would still be the same.
Okay, but a lake house
lake
is a real
house-
thing. So.
Oh yeah, true.
But the lake house sounds infinitely more pleasant.
Yeah, there is a lake within the Cud Jungle, Bitter Lake.
Oh, that doesn't sound so pleasant.
No.
Why is nowhere in this world nice? I want to go somewhere
Because
nice.
humans fucked up, man.
Big time.
Recycle!
Okay.
Message of our game, right?
Yeah, sure. There's not really any message. It's based on a video game that I didn't make, but recycle is a good one if there is one.
It was good.
Anyway,
Should we rest up and then go for an explore?
Yeah. Do you think?
Yeah, okay.
Are you feeling okay after seeing my...
Feeling pretty peppy, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't necessarily need a long rest. I can keep going.
I'm fine currently, so am I.
there we go.
I think
Steps
I'm pretty
accent.
good.
Nice.
Is there any particular things you fancy saying, or anything that you would think is particularly good, or
There's it's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, that's it. Broccoli.
Oh, that's a callback. Jesus.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's inspiration. From me. I'm giving you inspiration.
the only member of the party currently here who can't give it.
Really? No, yeah, it's true. Okay, well, shall we just keep going then?
I mean, if you really need a long rest, we can take one.
Oh wait,
It's not big deal.
does the dog need a long dog? Do you need a rest?
Dumb dog, be fine.
Is this dual playing?
I'm going to sometimes jump in for Stev.
Yeah.
Because he's quicker than me explaining to you as Stev what you perceive the dog to be, doing or where they're at.
It's my part.
Understudy!
That's close to home at the minute.
So,
in jokes that no one on the stream will understand.
so you go back
or
into
me
this
and Liam.
complex.
It's just for you two.
No. Actors.
I was going to be in a show, but I'm not in the...
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
sorry,
them. You want me to take that?
Hey, no, it's good for
No,
them.
it
It's
was
good for them,
good for
though,
them.
because-
He was called in because there was an emergency, and then the emergency ended. So the original
Start the
person came back.
emergency again?
Okay.
No.
So, you head back into this complex then? You don't take a rest here?
We can take a rest if you want.
I mean, you are sitting next to kind of mass graves.
I find that oddly
Cozy.
soothing.
Yeah, so they're kind of at the bottom of these pools. There are these skeletons that have just been very neatly, completely stripped of flesh. It's just very neat body parts. Of course, have become piles at the base of these things. But
I think this is like a Phyton's probably quite used to the concept of sleeping amongst the dead of its kind.
yeah, kinda. Yeah. I mean, you're more used to sleeping in soil than anything, and currently your feet are on this perfect black metal.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Well, you want to go back in?
to ask the
Yeah, to ask the AI.
We're not
Big
going back
machine.
into there. You can ask me.
I've got so many questions that I keep forgetting about and then remembering. But I only have so many firstborns, which is 0.
I mean, technically it's but one.
Ex-
You can only have one. You only have
To
one
be
person.
fair, I tried to ask another question and it said I'm satisfied and pissed
Oh,
off.
that's true, yeah.
I tried to ask once
Yeah,
again.
after a while.
I tried to ask once again about where the greatest swordsman in the world was because it almost feels like I want to progress my character, Liam.
Oh, wait, they're just going to show up. They're just going to be like, "Oh, hey, I'm the greatest swordsman. I've been looking all over for you." No,
That would be nice.
I mean, I actually know a dickhead who's pretty good with a sword.
It's the same dickhead I got told about the guy with the fucking.
Yeah, but now you know that I know him, so...
I keep...
Oh shit! You know. I think I knew this already.
I didn't.
No, I didn't. Okay.
So you did speak with. You may recall.
I remember
when you
the-
were
the-
entreating with Waterparent Enoch. You did speak with a
trainer.
disciple of Zato,
Zato, that was the name.
blind
Yeah.
swordsman of Korbal.
You know Zato.
Yeah, he taught me I wasn't very good.
Okay, I have some questions.
Can you just pass me those tiffins? Just feel like I get a snack before this conversation starts.
Because we are going to be going back to you a lot, because we're trying to speak in blind.
Yeah, sure.
Zato, he trained you in the ways of, I'm going to say the Esper blade, because that sounds cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just had the blade, because I don't have the Esper part, but
Now,
yeah.
what about the witchy hands?
Fuck you. These are just normal hands.
Those are not normal hands.
I'm wearing-
These are normal hands.
Oh dear.
No, I just mean, isn't that anything to do with?
No, this was an unlucky day.
Oh, how unlucky.
I mean, pretty unlucky. You saw the.
I mean, you shoot ice out of your hands. Oh,
Her hands do look
sorry, Tetsu.
Even you could tell her hands are pretty fucked up, like just not natural in any way.
Well, I mean, but he's got a metal hand and he doesn't harp on about it.
Can I just say, whilst this conversation's happening, I'm looking across at one of the mass graves,
So looking down.
looking down, and can just see a figure that I've been seeing quite a lot during battles and things, but can't see their face, just completely covered, looking back up at me like that.
All right.
What?
Cool.
Okay.
He looks like he's tripping on something.
I thought that was great.
No, but tell me, I mean, but he's one of the greatest swordsmen alive. He's one of the greatest swordsmen alive. What? What can you teach me what he taught you?
I mean, he, on all accounts, when you were tutored by Zato, he did not seem remotely satisfied with the level you got to.
Why did you reread it like you were doing it? like you did, like you were like, I wasn't that satisfied with the way.
Not satisfied. I was just double checking.
Okay.
In Liam's eyes.
I thought you weren't satisfied with the delivery of your line and just like.
So I'll do it again. He's one of the greatest swordsmen alive.
But real anime style, like, what? He's one of the greatest swordsmen alive! Nani?
Nando.
I mean, he wasn't really satisfied with my, lack of a thirst for blood, so kind of moved on to other pupils,
But I think you've got one of the greatest thirsts for blood of anyone I've ever met.
Thank you.
You're
Get
more
it
than
right.
welcome.
I've really developed it.
I don't even know how that would work.
I mean, maybe I could introduce you to one day if we ever went back to
Kolbal.
Kulbal.
No, let's go.
We got a bit of a thing to do.
No, I mean,
The
So
whole
you
aspect.
will know.
the Esper will keep.
Kolbal is a kind of single pinprick of civilization in vast Mokrai.
Yeah.
So I mean, which kills like most people who cross it. It's a vast place of no water. Very little grows there. If you go off the trail, you can get eaten by a salt kraken or salt striders or
Why I'm so
a whole
Dutch.
host of
Salt
other
other
things, other salt things, and yeah,
Salt sharks.
salt sharks.
Salt bays.
No.
Sharks are my biggest fear.
What are they bigger? What's bigger, regular sharks or salt sharks?
You have to cross the desert to get to it.
Well, let's go.
And also, you don't have the benefit of like a normal desert where sand doesn't absorb water; it just kind of settles beneath. Whereas obviously the salt sucks all the water out of things.
So let's go.
Dangerous.
Somewhere is not what? So okay.
Let's find.
When it's like frosty and they put salt on the roads.
That they do. I just thought it was to make the ground taste good.
Okay.
I'm going to reiterate.
I have
Let's
questions.
go. The Corval.
Oh yeah, we can go after we find the Esper.
The Esper will be there.
We made the promise. We're gonna see it through.
We'll kill the Esper. Yes.
You know what? If we kill the Esper, I'll know you're good enough for Zato.
Okay, deal.
So you may recall your armor is still shattered, by the way. Just
I want my armor back. Have a look around the corpses.
corpses. What in the water? They're just.
Oh, they're in the water. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so they have it's water burial. They've sunk them, and these small little aquatic creatures you see inside, assumedly strip the flesh from them.
Can we make him bone armor?
But you can certainly try, although making armor out of bones is fairly arduous.
Can we
But
make
pretty
it like
cool.
Can we have like an 80s montage of us like with the ribs?
Do you have any proficiency in crafting anything like
I have proficiency. I'm in calligraphy.
calligraphy and playing an instrument?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean you had a very upper middle class upbringing, so you didn't learn trades.
Where is that? Where would we?
I could engrave the armor.
I'm sure that'll increase the structural integrity of a bone.
What do you got? Your artificer.
You're certainly free to try to make bone armor, but you think it might take a very long time.
Okay.
What's artifice?
What? Artificer's tools?
Yeah.
So they're like very small little tools that you would use to kind of pry open and inspect parts of a Eater artifact.
And making armor. Tiny plant armor.
Maybe we could go somewhere where I can get my armor mended, because I feel largely undefended. I'm not very naturally agile.
That sounds like a destination, so yeah, let's go.
Let's go to a destination.
Rusttown is the place?
So-
nearby. That's very nearby. Isn't it?
Rusttown is very far away, and you have
It's like the opposite of nearby.
So I would say Rusttown is very. I mean, you don't know really where you are, given you've travelled under the earth for quite a while. You're not sure where your position is.
We could ask the eye.
I don't think we can.
So
But
you're
the
not sure where you
baby
are,
bird.
but where you were before you went underground, you were far closer to Stonehenge, which is one of the locations of the Consortium of Fighter.
Hengegrove.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
No, sorry.
Hengegrove.
Grovehenge.
Grovehenge.
Sorry. My
Hector Moonspear.
Grovehenge. Sorry, obviously not Stonehenge, that's really stupid of me. Grovehenge, which is one of the places of the Consortium of Fighter, these collective historians. And you know they have an armour on retainer there, but Rusttown is a lot further away. You do only currently have 5 days of water between you, not remotely enough to make it to Rusttown.
I think we go. Let's go to. I want to go home.
What?
Home?
Home.
What do you mean? What?
We're close to home.
Okay, what would you do at home?
Get armor, rest,
Water?
get some more water. Pick up a side quest. I don't know.
Introduce us to the folks?
Yeah, well, I mean that's sort of a complex deal.
How the Titans
I love filler episodes.
There's a beach. We could have a beach episode.
Do you have parents?
Well, yes. I'm from a lineage.
So you have a lineage, and you will have come to sentience within essentially a kind of I mean, we never define it, but you can say you came to sentience within Grovehenge. But you would have been grown in a garden of other plants they hoped would attain sentience, which won't. Many of them do not.
But also, I am Tumblehart Baraka III.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it must have been a second and first.
So you'd think. Funnily enough, there was just a first. Then we went straight to number 3. What happened was they thought a plant had attained sentience, called it Tumblehart Baraka II, and realised it was just a particularly animated twig.
And they couldn't take it back.
And they could. Well, no, it just seemed rude at that point. Should we go back?
To speak to the AI?
No.
Well, yeah, let's go down another spider's web thing.
Well, I was going to say, why don't we rest up? Well, wait, actually, maybe we should.
I mean, at this point, I can say you've taken a short rest at least, given that you.
We actually did take a short rest shortly before.
Yeah, but you can take another one if you want. I mean, there's no real point. You haven't lost any hit points, but.
Yeah. No, I mean, do we go investigate more, or do we go to?
I'm still looking down at the grove.
Why are you looking down at this grave?
What?
Why are you looking at this?
Yeah, were you looking down there?
I was just.
Perhaps you look back and it's gone. What you were saying.
No. You look like you've seen a ghost.
Yeah, just.
What's a ghost?
Steph will have an understanding of what ghosts are.
That's what a ghost is.
He's asking himself. Sorry, I was just drawn to it. Anyway.
Drawn to the dead body?
Zzz.
That's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds like some dark side shit.
That sounds like some dark backstory that you've got going on there.
You're much edgier than I gave you credit for.
So shall we?
Do we go and explore further?
I mean,
do we go back to visit?
You're just going to visit his bone
all
feathers?
roads lead to Rhodes. So
don't steal my thing and then say it in public so it seems like your thing.
No, sorry.
I said it to Liam first anyway.
Yeah. Oh, when in Rome, that's what I was going to say, and then when in Rome, let's go.
When in Rome, let's go.
Yeah.
You can lead a horse to water,
Alright,
but we
at
should
this
get
point-
out of here.
At this point, it seems you're kind of meandering a bit. So shall we say you head back into this
Let's go back to the
complex?
spire.
We're producing quality content.
You wanted us to build relationships, Liam.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it seems like you're more or less just wavering on the issue whether you're going to head back to this place.
Yes,
It sounds like you are.
I think we'll.
Yeah,
We'll have an
shall we do it?
explore while we're here.
So coming down, as I said before, you came into this hexagonal kind of central part. At the ground level you're on, it splits into 6 different directions.
Okay. Split up.
I'll take the dog.
At the end of which you can see, just in kind of the faint light of your glow sphere and a torch that's lit up, you can perhaps catch the kind of the glint of light upon these steel doors. But these ones you see at the further parts are intact. They don't have the kind of wavy holes melted into them. It really threw me off.
Sorry.
No, it's right. Yeah, I mean, as I said before, there's only these kind of very thick blocks of steel combined with kind of pistons and.
Does it look like there's any way of opening them? Or?
I mean, you can go up to one and give me an Arcana check to try to inspect it if you think.
Okay, may I borrow a...
No.
Okay.
No, the 1d6.
Thank you. Arcana.
Yeah,
okay.
get dice.
First roll of the game. Don't forget to sub.
First roll of the game.
I did the dice roll.
10.
That means we have to have 10 subs by the end of the episode.
Well, one of the players dies. One of the characters dies. That'd be better. Because that's an enforceable threat.
Or if you sub, one of the characters will die. Because I think people want blood.
Blood. So you go up to this door, inspect it, but this is very much beyond your means. There's kind of panels at the side of it that you think might be some way of getting it open. You do perhaps recall that in the kind of this black glass aperture that you saw that led to the malevolent AI, there had been kind of parts opened up in the panel on the side of it, and as you may recall, this kind of silver frame plate of a slightly clear rose-coloured glass-like substance that you touched. Open the door.
Is there any rose?
No, you don't see. There is none of the tinkering that's happened with these panels at the side of these doors, and you can't see mechanically how to get through the material of the door itself. I mean, you can certainly try, but you think it would be physically beyond all the might you could muster.
You know, we should have asked who came to see it.
No, that's what I meant. I was like, that's what I was saying. We should have said.
We should go back to the AI. And just...
Because I was going to say, who's the big boy that, or girl or thing that burnt holes inside this huge metal. Because that person seems like a threat.
Yes.
And if we run into them,
Steph has pointed out these feet to you. They do appear to be just, humanoid, small.
One way.
with the
Sorry?
capability
One
to.
way.
So you may not recall what I said before is that these feet do head to this place, but as Steph saw, they do come back and appear to walk off onto this kind of cylindrical gap in the floor of the centre of this complex, and then walk back off as if there was some surface they walked onto and off briefly.
Wait. What if? Can I just poke my head, look up the cylindrical thing?
I mean, you can't really look; you don't have eyes. But as far as your senses
Feel
go,
up.
there's I mean, it is a neat, so far as you can tell, perfectly vertical cylinder cut into this place that goes up through, up and down, further than you can sense.
What's up there?
You may also recall, sorry, I probably should have just reillustrated this place. So you're in this kind of hexagonal well. Looking up, you can see these kind of walkways kind of crisscross as you go up, and at the very top there are these very, very thin shafts of light you can see. Way, way high, and some of them just provide the most barest illumination at the level you're at. But if that's the light of the surface, you're not too deep underground. And just to put it out, at the centre of this hexagonal well on the layer on, there is also a similar kind of panel box thing as to the one that you put power into that stirred up the machine that the spruce came from before.
I think you should
Next to this cylindrical hole.
dial it up
To 11.
to 11.
I need to rest.
then let's go to sleep. And then dial it up.
I would say, when you don't have spell slots, you can still interact with machinery. It's not like putting spell slots into things is a representative of you pouring power into it. But it's not like, you don't have to charge an iPhone to do things on an iPhone. Obviously, like if it's out of power, you do. But I do want to say, I don't want you to have the impression that you are devoid of an ability to interact with machines.
Okay, right. Okay, brilliant. Then yes, I will. Yeah, but do I need to climb up there, or can we see it? Are we on the same level as that? Sorry.
So, 6 passageways intersect at a hexagonal well that seems to go deep into the earth and up to the surface. Yes. Because you can see thin bits of light at the top. Yeah. There is a cylinder cut into this place vertically that the footsteps go off onto and come back off as if some platform was there. Okay, and there's a control box next to that cylinder. Sorry, I should have just broken down the place.
Yeah, no, that's good. Let's do it. I'm gonna plug in and dial it up
to maybe just about 8 this time. 11 was quite a lot.
I got dead pooped after
11. I mean,
okay, yeah, let's do it.
So do you have 0 spell slots, can I ask, by the way, or do you have like?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You want to give me an Arcana check then?
I do.
Very nice.
Nat 1.
Nat 1. Yeah, I mean you are tired. You're like prodding at this thing.
Beep boop beep.
So is he just making noises to himself? Yeah. Watch this, guys. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop.
What is it you're doing? Are you just prodding at it with your regular hand, or?
Yeah, I'm just like literally like trying to do it, and just like slipping and trying to like using both hands occasionally, being like kunk kunk, and be like tink, tink. Noticing that there is a slight difference when I touch it with either hand.
So I will say, if you're using your chrome hand, you can at least just visually see at some points when your hand gets close to some of these plates of black glass, kind of a faint kind of orange fuzz just kind of come up on the screen just around it at some point. I would say at a just group, it'd really be impossible to not observe that there is some level of interaction between your hand and this machine. But beyond that, you're not sure what. Do you think perhaps you're a little tired?
There seems to be some level of reaction between this hand and my machine.
Maybe just.
It's that tight. It's like this hand and
he's
my
got,
machine.
He's got 4 bags under 4 eyes.
So like there's some of the bags from the top eyes drooping over his bottom eyes.
Should I just place my hand on
whack
it?
your hand on it.
Boink!
Okay.
Just look to you for guidance.
So if you're slapping the thing, I'm going to make a roll. Okay, roll a natural 20 for you. Okay, so you, and it does like, again, this fuzz appears. This fuzz appears again as you put it over the largest back panel, but then it does coalesce into a neat line surrounding your hand, and then there's a small tube comes out, kind of angled fairly upwards. I mean, given your height, it's kind of pointing more towards like your neck, upper chest area, but there does begin to be this very faint flashing light from inside the tube.
Guys, there's a little flashing light from inside.
That's definitely not coming up on the stream, mate.
Guys, there's
Stage
like
whispers.
a flashing light from within this tube.
What does that normally signify? I've never seen a flashing light.
Do I know what that normally signifies?
No.
Oh, okay. Does it look like it's getting?
No, it's merely just like a thing. A nozzle is extended, and there's a flash therein that you kind of see, just kind of illuminating your chest.
Can you open it?
Can I open it?
It's only slightly wider than an inch. It's not capped or anything. It's you can put your fingers in, but.
How to lose a finger with Tetsuo tap.
Well, you've already shown us how to lose a whole hand.
Have I?
No.
In the prequel we do after this, maybe.
Yeah, prequel episode.
Okay, is my hand still on the thing?
Sure, unless you want to put it away.
I take it off.
Sure. This thing stays out.
Okay, still going.
A few seconds.
Oh.
I mean, how long are you waiting to see if it does anything?
I'm gonna. If I realise it's gonna clear,
If you wait for 10 seconds, it does start to go.
Okay, I put my hand back on it because it needs to. It needs to.
It just comes back out again.
And then he just sits there fucking around with that.
Guys, I made an amazing discovery.
This is so cool.
Magical power.
Should I? I'm gonna put my finger in it.
Okay, doesn't do anything.
Okay.
This is very fun.
What about your little lightning rod thing?
My what?
You know, your lightning rod.
He needs 4 vines to make these.
Yeah, 4 vines, 4 separate vines.
To do that. This is top quality content. I don't know what to do. Shall I put one of my eyes towards it?
But yeah, which one? I mean, you've got 4.
The techno eye. So like to
Your
see if I
opal
can.
eye.
Yeah, to see
Sure.
whether
Can we clarify? Are you now not wearing the bandage over it anymore? Do you keep it exposed?
whilst I'm among friends.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you have all of Seamus
acquaintances,
opalescent,
yeah.
pure milky orb in one of his eye sockets. Okay, so you extend it over, kind of as you begin this flash fills your vision. Once your socket is neatly over the hole, the light just becomes permanent. You're just seeing kind of a plain white light blinding that sight just for a few seconds, and then there's and the thing just slides back in, and a faint voice, just you can almost hear it, speaks in a dead language of just going Iratum Karas Ilal Lol, and then there's a faint rumble from somewhere deep beneath the earth.
What did you do?
Iratum. something alol.
And as you're beginning to speak, you do begin to hear this just faint, soft rumble, getting slowly louder.
Do I have any knowledge of dead languages?
Give me a history check.
20, not natural.
20, not natural. Okay. So you don't have any formal education in it. It wasn't anything you pursued that you would have seen to be relevant. Not at least yet. I mean, you're very young. So it's certainly maybe down the line some of the skill you require, but you don't know really any languages other than the kind of the dialects of Cud.
Excuse me.
You may deduce that this is true speech, the language of the gods, perhaps, given the circumstances you're in. The language said to be spoken by the true kin, the untainted inheritors of divinity. But you don't know this language. But you could make an educated guess at it to being that.
Is the rumbling getting closer?
Yes.
What's happening?
And it continues until a neat black cylinder just comes to the level you're at, and
I'm getting
2
so many
panels
trinkets.
open to reveal just a neat cylindrical chamber, a floor and a ceiling and a back that these 2 panels slide into.
Like person-sized?
Yeah, all of you could easily fit in this.
Let's
This could
get in
fit
the-
perhaps 10 people. What's the capacity of a lift? Like 500 kilograms?
I think it's a bit more than 500 kilograms.
5,000, sorry. 5,000. Yeah, that's
I would
way
be a
too
little
low.
concerned if a lift is...
Yes, so you look into this thing, it is formed of the same black metal as the rest of this place, and you do see at the back there is more panels and technology beyond your comprehension, and a kind of a glass tube seemingly containing you can't tell if the liquid itself is black or if it's clear and really reflecting what's behind, showing what's behind it.
In for a penny?
In for a other kind bead. That's currency, isn't it?
Another kind bead. Shall we all go in?
Yes.
We'd be foolish not to.
I think we should, yes. Dog.
Dog has already slowly crept onto this thing and kind of looks around. Perhaps a look of, I don't know, something you don't recognise. Certain energy to how she's taking things in.
Wow. I mean, they've just chewed off their own tail.
Yeah.
Well,
In like a, did they look?
And the dog is raising up, and perhaps her nose is poking, is tapping slightly against this glass tube, just kind of sniffing things around,
Okay. She's inquisitive.
which you're not really used to her being.
I want to go sniff the
She's
tube.
inquisitive?
You want to go sniff the tube? Okay, sure.
I would also... No.
Give me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
I'd like to sense the tube.
You can tell
I want to be the marble. I want to
13.
taste the marble.
13. You smell it. It's the same kind of sterile smell the rest of this place has.
It's a tube.
All right.
Let's say we get in.
Once I'm in, can I tell if the liquid is clear or if it's black?
I think at this point, getting close, you can tell it's a kind of opaque grey. So it's kind of both essentially. But once you all step onto this circular platform, there is a small bits of a perfectly white liquid begin to kind of get injected into this cylinder from both sides and slowly coalesce into the kind of blobby, misshapen oval almost, and some parts kind of partition away to form almost like eye sockets and perhaps a small kind of gap to form the crudest facsimile of a mouth.
Is this something I can sense, or is it?
Yeah, you can sense the difference of these liquids within this tube. This kind of joke of a face, as it were, kind of pulses slightly within the tube, and then as its kind of fake lips begin to move, there is a voice that just slightly hums out from a speaker in somewhere within this cylinder. Alashur Alma Aruku.
Alashur Alma Araku.
Have a vowel, please, Carol.
Ava Arasur Ole. And then the doors behind you close.
No.
And there's a kind of a flicker, a sparking of power for this thing, and you feel it rumble and begin to move upwards.
Do we hear?
No,
What is
no,
this siren
no
song?
elevator music in the grim sci-fi future.
You can't.
It was Outward.
I'm not mean. I can't.
She's looking out for me, not being mean.
You are in this thing. This thing rumbles slightly, finding disturbances upon the rails. It's riding upwards. This face just kind of stays there. Anything what I said?
Yeah, I was just stopping the camera shaking.
Oh, sorry. Was that me?
It's quite good because it happened as you said, rumble.
Nice. This strange face is there. It's perhaps kind of come together a bit more into a neatness. There's some semblance of a brow, the faintest kind of lump of a nose, but just stays there. Perhaps the tiniest bead of this white liquid in the centre of those holes that form the eyes, kind of maybe looking at you.
Did I recognise the language?
You give me a history check as well.
Yes, I will.
I'm imagining Andros from Star Fox.
Oh no, just a 13.
Kind of, yeah, but blobby rather than polygonal.
Yeah.
13.
13, you don't know. I mean, you will again think this is perhaps true speech, but you don't know what's being said.
Anything from my end? Do I recognise any of this?
Give me an Arcana check for you.
Come on. 10.
10. No, you don't know. I mean, Lucky perhaps only taught you the most basic terms of true speech, relevant as it is to your education in magic, but no, nothing to understand a sentence.
Right.
Do you do anything while this thing is moving?
I will ready my sword and shield and face the way we came in.
Sure.
Ready in action to just hit anything that jumps in.
What's Dog doing? Look at Dog.
Dog has just kind of sat down on the floor, curled up, or almost too kind of comfortable, familiar.
No. All right.
You said there were other panels and stuff inside.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of the usual kind of array of controls that are just beyond your comprehension. I mean, to you, these are, these may as well be kind of, runes engraved into.
Can you fiddle with those?
I was just say, can I fiddle?
I can't check.
It's a new dice.
New dice.
So we get to sub.
Shut up.
22.
22. Okay, you think you might be able to get this thing to stop, maybe.
Should we give it a go?
What?
I said, shall we give it a go?
What are we giving a go?
11. No,
Yes! I don't care what it is.
I'll try and get it to stop and see what happens.
Okay, sure.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. Yeah.
Do I have the knowledge that I could make it go again?
No. I mean, you kind of know enough to break it in a controlled way.
Well, maybe don't then. Because we could see where it's taking us.
Okay, yeah.
Sure. You wait, perhaps 5 minutes. You feel yourself kind of steadily travelling upwards this entire time, kind of.
Oh, we're going up.
Going up.
Okay.
There's only a kind of. I mean, it's a smooth ride, except for the occasional kind of shuddering that happens when you think there is some kind of disturbance. You perhaps hear the faint tearing of vegetation as this thing encounters a few kind of natural, overgrowth problems on the my brothers.
Whoa, man. Whoa, man. That's
On the tracks, these things until eventually there is a kind of a clang, and you basically kind of are just lifted off the air, jump for a second as you hear the kind of a great tearing of vegetation, and this thing comes to a stop suddenly, and the doors open to just jungle. You kind of faintly hear this sound as you catch briefly a tree crashing a few feet away, and you can see kind of tearing vines at the top, and you think this thing has literally just rent open a hole in the soil and opened up, because you can see this kind of you can hear a crashing of a tree from the side that's been pushed up from the earth. This thing.
Oh my goodness.
Well.
Allah. Atur. And the blobs start to break apart and slowly get retracted back into this thing.
I understand very little of what just transpired.
So do I, but
We're in the jungle.
we're out. Stev, do you have any idea where we are?
Do I probably.
Well, you're looking to familiar landmarks such as the Spindle North, that you can see behind Seb there, that thin yellow line.
I was going to ask what that was.
Yeah, it's a thin line of gold. The Deathlands to the east. He gets a certain amount of bearing.
Okay.
I can get a certain amount of bearing. Good eating that way.
Yes.
Actually, Stev is fairly confident he has a good idea of where you are.
I'm pretty confident I know exactly where we are.
Can you lead us to
Engegrove?
Yeah.
Can I?
Steph doesn't know where Hengegrove is, but you know,
I know where
landmarks to
Hengegrove
find
is.
the beginning of the maze that surrounds Grovehenge.
Grove.
We do keep getting it the wrong way round.
It's me. I can't remember it.
Well, it's spread to me now. Grovehenge.
Grovehenge.
That's why you're saying Stonehenge, because it's like
Well, it's the obvious reference I'm making.
I think functionally it's very similar to the street name of the street I actually grew up on.
As opposed to
your street
road
name.
name of the street you grew up on.
I was gonna say.
Sorry. Let's keep going.
It's good. It's good eating.
But yeah, you can give me a survival check.
Good hearing. Right.
And that's Tumblehart for you.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20, wow, okay. Steph got a 19 on his survival, so.
Sweet. I think I might know better than you.
Roll some dice.
That's unlikely.
You do.
That's how I do.
I really wish you could get some curtains. They always just maintain such strong eye contact with me. He's still doing it. Okay, he's gone now.
What?
Everyone that comes downstairs is just like.
We'll get. Sorry, everyone on the stream. There's a glass wall with a stairwell that goes down because we're coming from an office. So sometimes people
Are inquisitive?
Yeah, I mean, they're allowed to be curious.
No, they're not.
No, fair
I would
enough. You're
like
right.
everyone
It
else in my
disgusts
life
me.
to just be a dollar shop.
Do your own thing. Don't mess
Stay
with
on
our
your
thing.
track. This is London. Stop taking any interest in other people's business.
So, you think you can fairly safely begin to make your way there. You're not that far away.
Do I feel the sense of being watched?
No. So once you left that chamber, and you did feel that kind of those eyes looking upon you from somewhere you couldn't see until you went into the strange room with the AI. But having come out, you have not felt that sensation.
Do I feel any different otherwise? As in,
I mean,
different
I
to
said
how
at the time,
felt
when you've got this
before
strange red injection, and perhaps there is a slight reddish tinge to the kind of the veins in his leaves and so on now.
It's pretty cool.
There's those plants that have like a kind of, green leaves, but then a kind of reddish tinge to the structure of them.
I'm not one of those now.
It's there to those who know you, who can notice it. You did feel there was a kind of a closing of, kind of a window in your mind that you never knew was there.
Oh, this is going to be really bloody annoying. When
It's kind of like sometimes if someone moves something in like your room that has always been in a particular place, and you notice it's gone, but you didn't really see it. You don't consciously recognise it every
registered
day.
it was there, but then when it's gone, you
moved,
know the absence. Yeah, I'm with you.
It's like that.
I don't
good
think
narrative.
Sato's going to get on with me now, is he? Didn't really think that one
He
through.
doesn't really get on with anyone and it'll be fine.
Well,
Gets on with your dad though.
Fuck my dad.
look forward to meeting your dad.
You're not gonna meet my dad. No one meets my dad.
I'll meet your dad.
Whilst this is
I
happening-
never
Why does
met
no
him.
one meet your dad?
You can meet my dad, Steph.
Oh, that's nice.
Why does he get to meet your dad?
He's pleasant.
Fair enough.
Whilst this is happening, again, just like can we see the fallen tree?
Yeah. So coming at this thing, the doors close and this thing goes back into the ground, and kind of vegetation that had been pushed up
Falls back down.
slams back onto the ground. There have been trees uprooted by this thing coming up. Dirt kind of casts the sky. There's almost like a small kind of dirt crater around this thing, although you wouldn't really notice now that it's come back down that this strange elevator emerged. But there are trees that have been torn up that you can go and inspect.
Cool.
I think we should book it to Grovehenge.
I think Sam was looking at something.
How long
Do you wanna
do
say
I
the
think it'll
thing?
take?
You think you could be there in a few hours, even at the start of the maze?
We have to go through a maze, by the way.
Whilst this was happening, just by a tree, I can just see the figure standing there again.
Tetsu,
Yes.
you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I will say at this point, Steph will just kind of slap you on the back as you get going, and seems alert to something that no one else noticed. As you come back into the jungle, it's very quiet. It's lost its usual kind of audible vibrancy. As I said before, the animals have been kind of slowly departing from this area, assumingly fleeing the kind of the Esper and the conflicts that surround it. As you may note before, when you were in, when you were staying with the Aguna tribe, you did look back into the jungle and see these areas had lost some of the vibrancy. Stev will say, best be moving. I think someone's out there looking for us.
Can you hear the whispers?
No, it's something similar to that. I think, maybe.
I think
Don't know. Just a feeling.
they're probably still looking for us, but they just can't use me to find us anymore, can they?
Fingers crossed.
I take offense to that.
Limbs crossed. Sorry, dog. Appendages.
Steph picked up a frog.
This is.
All right, I vote we get moving.
You get on your way,
Yeah.
and soon you are.
Can we be like collecting
Fine.
food and shit on the way?
Sorry?
Can we be collecting food and stuff on the way?
I mean, there's not much to collect. You do have some bear meat left over from that bear.
Oh,
You,
Yes,
Got
mindlessly
berries.
killed.
So you've got some, just perhaps getting just the verge of, just a little taste of it of fermentation.
I might need Harry to translate his sheet for me here, because as far as I can read, it says three times fisho min bear roll.
Yeah. I will say you have enough supplies. You don't. You're not near any rivers or streams to find water, but you do continue on your way, and you are not disturbed in your passage. Both of you doing very well on your survival, and me rolling quite well on the what you might encounter roll. You didn't tragically encounter a Borokoru either.
It's gonna happen eventually.
I need to roll 100 on one of these.
I know,
for
and
that
it's
to
gonna happen. It's
Yeah,
100 chance.
Avarka
Quite
is
good.
the gorilla god, right?
Borokoru is the ape god of the
Ape
jungle.
god.
The living god.
Jeez.
Careful.
Kind of beyond a gorilla, really. I mean,
Gorilla grod.
it's 6 limbs. You did see a statue of a Borokoru, which has the kind of big
Yes,
limbs like
yes,
this. a bit beyond a gorilla, perhaps.
We'll all fucking die if that happens.
We're not gonna
Eventually,
fight it.
you come to what is to all of you, aside from Tumblehart, just another part of the jungle. You know, just dense sward in front of you. Someone goes, Heart is, well, here we are, the entrance to the maze. And all of you are like, where is it?
Oh, well, it's right there.
As you know, that is a very, it is essentially a kind of a trail through the kind of the twisted and entangled plants here that is really only perceptible to a fighter. It's not something that a regular person can see with just the usual 5 senses. You have to have the ken of a plant to be able to see the entrance to the maze, but you can guide them through.
I can guide you through. Take a back seat, Steph.
And you begin to head in. You have to often go through uncomfortable passages, seemingly at kind of random, but crawling on your knees, sometimes crawling on your bellies, over briars and bristles and other uncomfortable things besides. It does. You are there for perhaps over an hour, going through this harsh terrain that does scrape and scuff you, but eventually you come to an opening. The place before you opens up to this kind of sunken place in the earth, where you see from this great tangled mat of all kinds of vines and plants these large, neatly chiseled obelisks of stone rise, and carved into their surface are these meandering lines that are set with technicolor moss, every colour under the rainbow here, but together in some inscrutable pattern, simply unknowable to the likes of you, but the fundamental language of the fightings.
It's beautiful.
Yes, I believe it was the great prophet Moses who invented it.
Terrible.
Thank you.
You stand upon a great stone outcropping that looks over this place, and just kind of in the shade as this kind of tied together wall of plants that encircles this place, you can hear perhaps to your right the faint peal of a hammer hitting against metal, somewhere within the kind of the twisting halls of Grovehenge. A steelsmith from Rustam works. But you will be able to recognise there are a few Phitans working somewhere deep within this tangle, but for you it is almost kind of inconspicuous, this place. It's design, there's intention here. These obelisks rise with a neat uniformity within this place, and beyond them you can kind of see a faint, the kind of impressions of perhaps a kind of a columned hall. I really should switch the music to a jungle sound. Yeah, it's silly of me. But you could very easily, kind of, if you were to be airborne, see as a bird, you could look over this place and not notice it as any different from the rest of the jungle.
Well hidden. And well defended.
You've not encountered anyone, no one's come up to you or said, like, hold there, or anything at this point. So.
Oh, but they will. And that's how they'll say it. I'm gonna go see the smith.
Let's go see your parents.
No.
What is this? This is most impolite, Tumblehart. You recognise the annoying voice of Yomley, the steward.
Not Yomley.
Oh, hello, Yomley.
These are guests that haven't been accounted for, no due process, and you just waltz them in here.
Yomley, it's an emergency.
I should say so, you're not properly dressed,
No,
slightest.
that is the emergency. Yomley, why don't you yoml off?
I hate how you use my name like that. Who is it you're here to see?
I'm here to see the smith.
Yomley is a rather tall, a plant can't kind of look down its nose at you, having no nose, but this cucumber plant definitely has a certain crook to its vine that gives a certain condescending.
I love it. I love it.
Well, kind of no more taller than you are, but kind of it's craning back.
We're sorry to intrude on you, Yomley.
Yes, you haven't been introduced or announced. Who are you?
This is Tetsu Oitap. He's the esteemed pupil of a great wizard.
Oh, wizard, hope you're not going to cause any problems. We don't tolerate magic and the likes here unless sanctioned.
Yeah, well,
I love this character. He's my favourite.
Okay.
and this is Hababus with a surname. Hababus.
Most people don't have surnames.
No, this is Hababus.
Can I ask, are your gloves on or off?
The daughter of a great king.
The daughter of Naga Fest.
The daughter of Nagafest. Well, this should be accounted for. Perhaps we'll make a record of this. Who is this
Oh, this is
underdressed person with you?
Oh, you mean? Oh, that's Step.
You right?
Yes.
You're a funny looking plant.
And who is this quadruped?
This is dog.
Hello.
He's like a really posh Stephen Merchant.
Well, now announcing
No.
Tetsu Oitap, Hababus, the noble scion, Stev, and dog. God, it just like echoes through this place. Now, who are you here to see?
Lovely. We're here to see the smith. What's the name of the smith?
Smith.
Human the Smith.
We're here to see human.
The
And
Smith.
Tumblehart's family.
The smith.
Tumblehart?
No.
I'm afraid we can't permit fleshlings such as you into the Garden of Delights where young fighters become of age. But we will permit you to see the Smith human.
Thank you, Yomley.
He's following me and begins
Must
slowly.
we? I know the way.
Yes, I'm the steward. It's my full right to show you the passage through this place.
I honestly
You are
don't
unannounced
wish to
guests. I've
trouble
already
you.
given you the utmost lenience in this
I know,
circumstance.
But Yomley, I
You would
find
understand.
my own way. I understand, Yomley. But is it entirely necessary when I can guide
Yes,
myself?
it's full-
Who knows? There could be more unannounced guests arriving.
And
Yomley.
begins to very kind of agonizingly slowly, his roots begin to
sort of in
make a
hurry
passage
here,
along
Yomley.
his way towards that peal of hammer against metal until you begin to feel like a faint kind of flow of hot air wash across your faces. And you come into a small clearing formed where you see the plants have been reseeded around a ground that pebbles and small stones, small boulders have been set into to form a kind of crude stone floor around which a man, old, perhaps even 40,
Pattern.
human, strikes with kind of, I almost feel enough, strikes,
Good eating. Don't waste that.
strikes a hammer with a faint tinge of blue to it against a crudely, as currently crudely formed bar of steel. You notice the kind of thick black lines that mark out a smith of Rusttown and someone who knows the secret of steel, which is significant. This marks them as someone prestigious and part of the inner circle of smiths.
I've met the smith.
You will have met Human before. He will have made your work. You know that he has no tongue. He can't speak. It's been cut out willingly.
By the Fightons?
Sorry?
By the Fightons?
No. You will have probably learnt just through conversation that those who know the secret of steel and go beyond Rusttown remove their tongues in a ritualistic way to prevent the secret of steel being stolen. And there is this tall, almost anthill-like tube of clay that just pierces above the canopy that you see a great fire kind of roars from, and some mechanism catches the wind above and slowly turns a thin pipe of wood that keeps a kind of clay instrument blowing air continuously into this thing.
Green energy.
This is all naturally powered.
Thank you.
Aim
Yes,
to be carbon
I-
zero by 2025. Carbon neutral, I mean.
Well,
Yomley.
thank you for your exceptional guidance.
Human, is there anything you require? And human will just kind of look up and wipe their brow. regard all of you and just get back to hammering steel.
I think I can take it from here, Yomli.
I'm sure you
there's
can.
other-
I will stand here and
No,
vigilate to be
that's-
sure that the conduct is all above board.
It's all going to be above board,
Yes.
Yomli. I've just broken my armor. That's all. Please.
Yes, and noticed. Given you've already failed to maintain decorum, I think it's only appropriate that I make sure there's no lollygagging or shenanigans or the like.
You're such a cute cunt.
Is that the best C-bomb we've had on this show?
I don't know
I mean, the
what that
only-
is. It sounds like something a fleshling has. I think you've been spending too much time abroad, Tumblehart.
This is almost getting into Bane, isn't it?
Yomli is the means to your liberation.
Fine, Yomli. If you want to stay, you can stay.
Yes, as is only appropriate.
But you know what I do insist on if you're going to stay?
I'm the steward here.
You are the steward, I believe. Stev requires some thorough instruction in the ways of our people to make sure no decorum faults should happen. So why don't you meticulously take him through everything and make sure he understands?
Very well. I take this duty very seriously.
Oh,
And
I
begins
know
to
you
natter
do.
away in the background at Stev.
Well,
I think Stev just sends him on a series of cycles.
Stev is basically like, he looks like if you've got like a leaf blower blasting in the face, but none of his hair isn't moving. He's just like... Right, and you turn to human.
Human.
He, with big tongs, grabs this thing and quenches it in oil, and then pulls it out.
My apologies, human, but we came toe to toe with a powerful Esper, and the armor you crafted for me was shattered.
What was going on?
What is this?
Okay. He marks out to you one day. Or something.
Okay,
We could do
Thank
with
you.
a long rest.
we could. And we'd see some of the sights, and not my family.
Do you know
He walks out, he gets up and just walks out into a clearing in the sun, kind of wiping sweat from his brow.
Thank you, human. I'll return in a day.
I want
I
to
would
follow.
say he isn't wearing anything, but he just appears to be another mutant human. You know, perhaps there's a slight kind of lump to the side of his head.
Oh, is he not a plant?
No, he's a human. He's
I
called
want to
human.
follow the.
Yeah, I thought that was
sorry,
I thought it was
sorry.
irony.
No.
A plant
Yeah,
called
okay.
human.
Yeah.
A human called human.
No, but there's a plant called Wonder.
So plants aren't very good at using, heavy metal tools. Their strength isn't quite built for that kind of thing.
And also by fire, I guess that's.
That also doesn't help.
Sorry.
I want to go after the smith.
Okay, he's just stepped onto a kind of a little, almost a kind of little clearing outside that overlooks Grovehenge, just standing there in the sun, just kind of catching the breeze, as it were.
Hello. I greatly respect your trade, your craft.
Hmm.
Do you not mind them calling you human? I mean, surely you have your own name. Don't you want them to call you by that? I mean, like, you can give me a thumbs up or down. You do want them to call you by your name.
Probably by
Just
your name.
sits on a stone, stool,
His name is Timothy Chalamet.
enjoys the wind.
Is his name Timothy Chalamet?
No, surprised you're aware his name is human.
Human Timothy Chalamet?
No,
Timothy Human Chalamet.
he's definitely not played by Timothy Chalamet either. A bit scrawny for the role, I
Can
think.
he be?
No, I think
His
that's
name-
a bit thin and young for an aged Smith.
Is he called the world's ultimate soft boy?
What?
So Timothy Chalamet.
Tumblehart.
Timothy Chalamet. Okay.
You're
Yes.
being a dick.
What?
This guy has a name, clearly.
It's human, isn't it?
I'm gonna start calling you Phaeton.
But why?
His name actually is human.
His name is human.
It's not.
No, we have a dog called Dog in our group.
Yes,
This is
but
a thing.
Stev is,
Wow.
adorable.
Oh.
My name means stick.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
And I've just learned how to throw my voice.
Sorry, I might cut in the step. at
No,
some
no, no,
point,
no, no,
but I
please.
know more
I'm
people.
liking this Joe role.
Turns into a shared thing. It's like, is
I can feel my psyche spinning hard. Oh! Sensuality of Steve.
Feel like one half of me knows considerably more about me than the other half.
Oh, story of my life.
His name is Human. I'm not being rude.
Hey, is your name Human? Your birth name? You just told me it wasn't, you liar.
Look, he's been very kind to reforge my armor, and Yomley appears to have simmered. So
I'm gonna call you Brian.
that is incredibly rude.
Brian it is.
I'd say that's more rude
And
than...
so that's just if you don't think his name is Human, which he's told you it is, you're just going to assign him a random
I
name.
mean, he hasn't told me anything.
People do have names like Human. I mean, it's not, it's not uncommon. You've probably met someone called Human before.
We've called dog.
I mean,
Stev is from a race of Stevs.
so you're within a well that is, kind of prehistoric, city for most people. So a lot of people will have names that are, just things in their surroundings, like
Oh.
Stev being Stig, Stev meaning stick.
Stig.
Sorry, dog being dog. Yeah,
I mean,
names there Leaf and Berry and
I
these
thought it was
things.
called
Tattoo
Dog
me
just
dying.
because Steph was done.
There are currently men
Oh,
alive
yeah,
called
the
Guy.
movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guy. Yeah.
Guy is the name.
That's a name.
What time is it?
It's perhaps 6 p.m. Sun just beginning to get there.
Do I have any?
I feel a long rest coming
I'm
on.
trying to think. Sorry, I'm just trying to recall my backstory. Did I train with anyone here? I mean, anyone who would be here, rather, is what I mean. Because
No, you didn't train anyone here.
train with anyone?
You didn't train with anyone here. No, you would have come
went outside
to Kaya to meet Yergoth to begin your training.
I might go and write some things down.
I'm gonna go see your folks.
No, I'm just going to go and quietly, journal some of the incredible history we've witnessed.
I think I might go and meditate.
We have a waiting area if you'd like to
Waiting area.
retire. It's fully accommodated for fleshlings such as yourselves.
Oh, that'd be lovely, thank you.
This guy's name.
Yomley.
Yomley.
And I advise you not to forget it.
Yomli, this is the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
Yes.
He's
so inept. I love him.
Inept! I've served in this position for over 100 years.
Flashlings could never create something as magnificent as you have here.
No, they could not.
They couldn't.
It's simply beyond them. We pity them for it, but we understand and respect that they are limited by their flesh.
Yeah, well, yes. As opposed to fleshy vibes, they just have fleshy flesh.
Oh god, why do we keep saying flesh? Why must we continue
Maybe
to
you
say
could
flesh?
take pity on someone lesser than yourself and show me around.
I will show you to the area where you can retire.
I'd like to see more.
It's not permitted.
But you seem like such a wonderful guide.
Perhaps, but there's a protocol I have to follow and you haven't even been announced. I'm showing you the utmost
have
lenience
announced
currently.
them. You've announced them.
But not through the proper channels,
Yeah, but
Tumblehart.
you did. You announced. Yomley, I know this job is very important to you.
Listen
and I
to
know
me,
you
Tumblehart.
take your work
One of the
very
prime
seriously.
historians is here right now.
What?
If I make a
Wait,
fool of
can't
myself,
ever- Stop. Rewind.
Rewind.
Go through that again.
one of the prime historians is currently
He's
here.
in
Grubblebatch the Fourth, and I
Grubblebatch the Fourth
I
is
won't have
here.
this descend into just absolute mess in front of their like.
Huge fan on this history of Eater's stonework.
Yes, we've all read the treaties.
His treaties on concrete are unmatched.
And I wouldn't want to spoil his mood as he is resting and gathering his thoughts before writing with the likes of these people.
Yeah, well, those flashes. Okay, well, put them somewhere and I'll go and meet.
Yes.
I'm happy to go to the
Historian.
look. You go meet the
Oh,
historian.
yeah, I'm going to go meet the
And
historian.
I've got a lot of
This
I've
is-
got a lot of stuff that I need to think through. Okay,
Very
I've had a long couple of days. I've
Yeah.
seen myself get torn away.
No.
Keep seeing
Oh, what?
it's you know, he was like, other you. I want another you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he
yes.
took another me, and like that's been emotionally scarring. And
Oh,
since
my
that
God.
moment, I keep seeing something, and I just need to have a little.
Wait, you're seeing something.
Perhaps we should continue this conversation
Yes,
in
actually, after I've met the Prime Historian.
the area where you can travel somehow. You know the lay of the land here.
Yep, off I go.
Flesh people, please follow me.
Lovely, thank you, Yumli.
I'm scooting off.
Yeah. Okay, so you descend into, as I said, this kind of bowl in the earth where these monoliths rise from. You can, I mean, it would be incredibly difficult for, you know, a fleshling, but for you, you can easily navigate through the tangle of plants and vines here at the base. Yeah, I mean, you walk past, you know, whole chapters of history as you come through this place.
Nice to be home.
And eventually you emerge on the other side of the Council Stone. This small kind of courtyard from which rise 5 similarly neat stone seatings, within which is couched one rather kind of aged, I mean no one else could tell but you, Thistle.
Gurbatch.
Yes, Grumblegatch.
Grumblegatch, sorry.
The 4th.
Sir,
What? Who is this?
Mr. Grumblegatch, sir,
Who are you?
my humble moniker is Tumblehart Baraka the Third, but
The 3rd?
the third.
What happened to the 2nd and the 1st ones?
Well, I believe the first one is currently writing a brief historiography on
Historiography, Ella.
that.
We didn't have those back in my day, I'll tell you that much.
To be honest, I disagree with the whole principle. But,
We used to fill up the whole monolith, and we were better for it.
I'm certain you were, but I heard you.
You're one of them knight historians, aren't you?
I am, yes. It is my humble honor to serve the consortium in this capacity.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, good for you, on your way.
Sorry, I just thought I would. Your work's on Falkreath, sir.
You're absolutely free to read it at any time.
No, I have. I've read it cover to stone corner to stone corner in
Good.
maybe a dozen times.
Good.
I just wondered if I want to present you with what I'm working on. Is that would you mind that?
Well, have you completed your studies?
Well, not quite, but
What are you talking about, boy? You want to be coming for me? You talking about? Go, you have complete studies and you want to present already?
well, here's the thing, sir.
Yeah, I won't hear any of it. You complete your work and then you'll come back and present in front of at least 2 prime historians.
Yes. Well.
As is proper protocol.
Yeah. Well,
I am incensed to see that the house of Baraka has fallen so far. Now away with you, boy.
Yes, sir.
Aww.
Okay, sir. And I'll,
Why is it when I get an episode we almost nearly die every time, and then when Seb gets an episode?
He just died a bit inside.
It's emotional damage.
That's fucking
One
great.
point of psychic damage.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'll retire
Jeez.
from the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do hear that Grumblegatch the 4th is getting a little crotchety in his old age.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
The
feelings when?
I just feel
Feel like such a fool.
I've accomplished nothing. I had this grand idea about becoming a work of living history, and what have I got to show for it? Just this.
Oh God.
Just slices like half of his body off.
Insult to injury.
I'm a mockery.
Hey. Whereabouts are you? Are you on your own?
No, I'm just on.
Okay.
I'm
So you
monologuing.
guys have been read by Yomley. It's gonna be hard to switch between these two voices. To unopened clearing, like with the smithy. Thank you for your offering. Stones of a sort of size have been pushed into the earth here to form a kind of crude floor. Fairly uncomfortable to step on. You think very uncomfortable to sleep on, perhaps, but you do see some rolls of, thin rolls of cloth have been laid out to mark bed areas. This does not look particularly comfortable for a fleshling, remotely, but regardless.
Here you are. We retire here and rest as long as you like, as long as until Tumblehart leaves. Yes, please make yourself at home. I believe the saying is, I have other business to attend to.
Oh,
Thank you, Yomley.
Wait. I just think, when I return home, to Cabal, to my father, I would love to relate to him stories of the hospitality, the generosity of the Phaetons.
That is good. You should do that.
I currently don't have any of those stories.
Yes, you've seen our magnificent Grovehenge, something that most flesh will live and die never be able to appreciate. But of course we do have our own historians within Cabal, so I'm sure they can tell your father the like of the wonders of this place and our work.
I'd just really like to see Tumblehart's family.
As I'm sure you would.
He walks off.
Dick.
More chance of shitting in the Queen's handbag.
What? Not heard that saying.
Have you not? That's really good. What's the idiots thing we do?
More chance of shitting in the Queen's shit.
So, you're in this area. You do notice in a corner it appears that someone has kind of made an area their home, as it were. There's a kind of a gathering of kind of straw and so on that has been used to amplify the kind of the bed into being something more comfortable, and there's a few kind of stone shelves that have kind of oddities and trinkets.
Is there someone in the bed?
Not currently there.
I
No.
want to go examine the trinket.
Okay, cool. Getting close, you can see it's lots of small figures, little wood carvings, bone carvings, a few stone carvings, perhaps tell kind of make out kind of slightly impressionistically crude characters. Some perhaps you recognise, Hanas, Shekinah, gods. Some perhaps you're not so familiar with. And then there's other kind of, there's the oddities. There's a bedroll and pillows and perhaps a bit of food and water and so on.
Do I recognise any of the figures?
Any of the food?
Figures.
Oh, figures. As for you,
Same
this
thing.
time you'll notice, gods and so on. Perhaps there's a kind of, a goat. The kind of the form of which might be similar to in the goats ridden on the heap step. Beneath your
Mountain.
beneath the mountains you lived on. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Does it look like the kind of place the smith sleeps?
Actually, I will say,
Closer
you
than we
give me
realised.
specifically. You give me a perception check.
17.
17. I will say, kind of looking at this place, you do notice kind of amongst the kind of bedding here, as one might find, kind of errant hairs and so on, you do find these very thin, small white quills, similar to the ones you put in your hair, given to you by Lucky.
Am I about?
You can rejoin them.
Yeah, that's them. Also, I guess now would be a good time to ask, what sort of is there in Grovehenge?
There's the maze around it. Then you come to the halls of history, this kind of bowl area where these monoliths have history carved into them. Hidden somewhere kind of on the other side of this stone outcropping that you kind of came onto is the Garden of Delights, which is where plants are cultivated and dynasties of plants are grown. It's where you came to sentience. There's, as I said, the council place where these 5 seats are, where up to 5 prime historians can sit and judge work, such as they may do for you one day. You may recognise some of a few of the Phytons around here. I mean, you knew of Grumblegatch IV, you know Yomley. There may be a few within the halls of history who are working away. Non-Phytons here, you know Human is here, and I would say perhaps around the time you're getting ready to leave, a Barathomite by the name of Moody came to this place. So this would be an artificer, someone who provides magical services for the Phytons.
Can I rejoin them?
Yeah, sure.
For this one? Well,
How'd it go, Tumblehart?
Very well. Yes, he was blown away with the potentials of my work, and I I don't want to brag, but
You always want to brag.
no, only humble. So,
Humble
Humble
heart.
heart.
humble heart. That's what you all nickname me as. Then I am. But I'll just say he had some very specific things to say.
Well, that's great to hear, buddy.
Yeah,
That's great.
Buddy.
isn't it just? Yes.
Okay. Well, Tumblehart, can I ask you a question?
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Do you know who lives here?
You might think this is the bedding of Moody. They are an Urshib,
They're
quilled albino cave bear.
bear thingy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I think Moody moved in here just before I left.
Do I know Moody?
No, Moody is not a name known to you.
He is a Barathomite, somewhat akin to you, I suppose.
Yes, perhaps you will have heard the Barathmites, just to mention this point, you will have perhaps heard the Barathmites mentioned once or twice
Yes.
by Lucky. You weren't told anything about them.
Right.
You got the sense that they were a semi-secretive group, but you got the sense that Lucky was, if not currently, at least once part of their number.
We sometimes loan out help to them, as it were.
Okay.
But I'm sure you two could have a fascinating conversation.
Well, almost as fascinating as you had with your historian fellow, I imagine.
Grumblebatch the Fourth, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Only one of the greatest living Phytons.
I know, that's amazing.
Or, nay, one of the greatest Phytons.
And that's...
His works on the Eta construction of Valkyries. You have never read anything so evocative.
And that just heightens the fact that you had such a good conversation with
Such
him.
a good conversation with him. Just went down a dream. Perfect. But couldn't have asked for more. It's not like I poured my whole life into an idea that might be worthless.
Okay, well...
Tumblehart, I was thinking, Zato's never trained a Phyton. You would be the first Phyton ever to be trained by him, which would be the biggest honor.
I don't even have a third eye anymore. I don't think he can train me.
He couldn't train me because I'm a piece of shit,
I mean, he trained you in basic swordplay. I mean, the reason your character in a mechanical sense has extra attack is because you were tutored in swordplay by Zato. You know how to use a sword. So it's not like he can't teach at all to people who aren't psychic.
I mean, you've seen me. I'm pretty. I can handle myself, and that is with like 2% of his teaching. Imagine what he could do for you, who's naturally so gifted already.
You're being nice to me. Why are you being nice to me?
I'm sleepy.
Do you know when Moody's coming back? Does Yomley?
No.
Yomley?
No. Look, I've had a rough day.
You had a rough day, buddy? What happened?
Hey,
No,
buddy,
nothing
what's
happened. I
going
had a
on?
great time. I feel fulfilled.
Like all good students,
No.
I arrived at a moment's notice.
Yomley.
I heard my name called.
Yomley.
Do you know
In the
this? Sorry.
Okay, one moment.
in the kindest possible way, will you fuck the fuck off?
This is not decorum,
No,
Tumblehart.
it isn't. Okay,
Restrain
Yomli,
yourself.
for once, will you listen? Will you listen to me? Yomli, right now, I don't need your cucumbery presence stinking up this tiny little fleshling room.
Can you give me a intimidation check?
15.
Well, this is most improper. I may have to report this.
And he kind of slowly undulates out of the room, although you get the sense that perhaps he's a bit nervous and a bit intimidated.
You guys friends?
Hey, bud.
Oh.
You did both manage to grab a cucumber from him that you're now enjoying. No.
Would you like a cucumber?
Oh my God.
Cucumber?
Yes.
Yeah, in this fantasy world, cucumbers are red.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
I just thought I had a really good idea.
Hey,
You didn't even want to hear about it.
We want to hear about it.
we care.
You do.
Of course we do.
In great detail, preferably over several hours.
Just because.
I'll tell you about the whole thing I'm doing.
Yeah,
Well, you can tell
please.
us everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Why are you just walking around the forest?
Well, buckle up.
I just launch into like.
Sure, I would say that Tumblehart begins to talk of his historical quest, historical in the sense that he is attempting to gather history by seeking out masters of swords plant ship for him, of course, to document the history of technique with that particular
And to become
item.
I guess, you know what? I think like if we skip forward like, let's say 3.5 hours. And that is why my aim is to become the living embodiment of the history of sword technique. So I can establish a lineage. Now on to the second part of what I was
You continue your talk, and as it comes to a close, some people perhaps wrapped, some perhaps a bit put to sleep. You do slightly jump and turn around as you hear, "Wow, that is really interesting, man." And you look round to see a kind of hunched over albino cave bear, long spindly limbs, and you notice that their fingers are very lengthy, almost serpentine.
They have the same
highly
voice as the
jointed.
plants?
What?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have the same voice as plants.
Yeah, he
What?
does.
The plant matrix.
Slightly.
Plant what?
Plant matrix.
Oh, right, yeah. Plant
Look.
matrix, God damn it. Yeah, you're right, it is the same. I can't
Well,
remember
similar.
voices.
No. We
No,
want
keep the
that.
voice. I like the voice.
You do notice, similar to you, a number of leather thongs suspend artifacts, small widgets, around this person's neck. Cosmetically, you notice they have a number of kind of small toruses of carved stone, have been kind of tied to the hairs of their body in certain places.
Small what?
Sorry?
Small what?
Toruses? Rings. Sorry, I'm just being fancy. It gives almost this kind of polka dot impression across the form. But other than that, they are unclothed. But yeah,
It's a
it is
spiky,
really
a
interesting.
spiky bear.
Yeah, so
Why-
running down their
why
back
bear?
are a number of their hairs are kind of thicker and stiffer and quill-like.
It's like a big porcupine.
Well, like a big bear, but with some quills running down their back.
Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
You think it's interesting?
Yeah, man. I love it.
We love it as well, man.
It's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, you're really passionate about it, and that's important.
I will note as well. There's this Earthship is holding a long, thin pipe they're kind of intermittently smoking from, and there's a
That's
slight
really
kind
cool.
of bitter smell coming from it.
I
Blushing.
hard of you to say. It's, I I don't mean to brag, but I thought it was rather good myself.
Yeah.
Hi.
Who are you guys?
Well, this is Abavis.
Hey, Abavis.
And
how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I hope you have a pleasant day and a pleasant night too.
And I'm Tetsu Oitap.
Hey, man.
Hey man, nice to meet you.
Do you extend your flesh hand or your chrome hand?
Flash.
Okay.
Flash,
Cool.
flash,
So these
flash.
long spindly fingers.
Wait.
go around.
Hold on. Which one's which? Because he shakes with his right hand.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, I do it with my chrome hand.
Oh, okay, cool. That's interesting, man. That's interesting what you got there. Where'd you get that?
It's a really good question, actually.
Well, that's good to know, and I really want to hear it, but I'm going to say hi to these other two first.
Okay.
He turns over and says
Very
hi
polite.
to Stev and Dog.
Sorry. I know.
Hey there, man.
We fell asleep during that.
That's cool. I mean, I'll get to catch some sleep sometime.
We do. That's very clever.
Revelation.
And a new skill is gained.
And,
Right. What can I do you for?
nothing, man. You're good. And puts out a hand, and Dog will perhaps kind of like slowly, tentatively put out a palm and kind of, put out a paw into their hand so that she kind of shake.
Can they join our party? I'm really in love with this porcupine.
What, an up high?
Can
Oh,
they-
did you say you canonically invented the high five or
No,
something?
can they join our party? Can they just come with us?
Oh, well, you can ask.
Adventure number 6.
You can ask. They can't just like. They would be a stalker if they just followed you. You all right, Steph?
Oh yeah, I was just reading what Harry was saying.
Oh, God.
What's Harry saying?
I think it's Harry anyway. Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. Steph has to hate this guy.
Oh,
I'm not sure I like you.
hey man, that's cool.
Who are you to tell me when to sleep?
When telling you how to do. No, man.
You were, you said everyone got to sleep sometimes. What if I say I don't want to go to sleep? Ever.
Well then, man, you just live your life.
Yeah,
God,
I will, but then I won't.
I know.
He takes another deep inhale from this pipe. The bitter smell washes over.
Moody,
Yeah, man.
I have a few questions that I've got to ask you.
Yeah.
Actually, just about, do you know did you know of Lucky?
Man. Let me just make an intelligence check. I'm kind of baked right now, and I just rolled natural 1. Man, I don't know who that is.
Oh no!
But I bet he's a swell dude.
Well, he was a great wizard who took me in, and
Oh yeah?
he's so high. Maybe we should talk in the morning.
Yeah, man. I mean, I get up at like around 12 or something, but
In the afternoon?
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm wicked hungry, so like we could just have like a, bunch of Oreos and what's this, and just chill out and chew the fat, man. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
want
lovely.
to do that. Let's do that forever.
God, it's the one opportunity I had of finding out about anything that's happened in my life.
Well, listen, man. I
And
see
he's
you've got.
stoned as fuck.
I noticed your hair. You know the signs.
Yes, I do, don't
Do you know? You don't know what that means. Do you know the signs?
I? No.
Oh man, where do you get the little things in your hair?
From Lucky.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you know the signs?
No.
No. No way. Where did he get them from?
I don't know. Well, he's. I know that he's.
What are the signs?
Man, the signs, man. The signs, man. If you know the signs, man, you're part of the club.
Well, that's the thing. He worked a lot with the Urshib. I know that.
No way. Dude, that means he knew the signs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to
Had
be
you
part-
spoken to me at all about the signs?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Sorry. What were you saying about this?
I want to be part of the club.
Well, I mean, keep working at it. You'll get there.
How do I work at it?
You just do your best.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite Bob Rossi, actually.
Just happy little trees.
Which is.
Davis is never like anyone in her whole life. But this guy.
Oh, dude, where are my manners? Does anyone want to hit this?
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay. At this point, we're getting close to 9 o'clock when we'll be ending tonight. So I'm going to say you
Get stoned.
No.
Oh.
As you smoke from this thing, you feel yourself relax a little bit. Just, it just takes the stiffness out of your neck and shoulders.
Oh,
Lets you calm down, recline, and you begin to talk as, perhaps the stars appear in the night sky. And we'll end there.
Oh, what a wholesome.
Yeah, that's what
That was,
I said.
that was what we needed. We needed a beach episode.
That was a calm
We had a beach episode.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, we had.
Is that the first episode we've had without a fight?
No, you've had some episodes without fights.
Okay.
But the intention, the idea is that you're not
If
constantly
anything,
fighting. You wanna have moments to
there
wind
was
down.
more fighting.
Yikes. Anyway,
It's good.
Subscribe. No.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, if anyone is watching. Harry, sorry you couldn't make it. Hope you get better soon, pal. We're going to pack up fairly quick, so
we'll pack up fairly
goodbye. I'm going to turn
Goodbye.
the stream down.
Twitch.tv at Twitch.tv.
Subscribe.
at Dice Capital. Subscribe.